Good evening, everyone. It's your superstar of sunshine here, delivering some positive news for a change. I'm gonna be serving you a holiday ham with a side of smiles this season. So let's start with something super simple, but also something near and dear to my heart because it happens in my home state, Florida, on my turf, on my sacred soil. Some hooligan, some heathen, decided to meander down here and make a ruckus. And while this sounds like negative news, it has a happy ending. So, a tourist from Pittsburgh came to St. Pete, which is a place very close to where I live here in Tampa, and actually visited a location I'm pretty familiar with in St. Pete, where he was rambunctious, disruptive, and just an all-around menace. And he went too far, flew too close to the sun when he molested a beloved manatee statue outside of a restaurant that I've actually been to. I learned about this on stream last night, but didn't realize just how close to home this hit. I have been to that restaurant before, and I am pretty sure I laid eyes upon that manatee, and I would have never expected him wow, I just hit a full-blown scat man there. This was so concerning to me, it made me stroke out there for a moment. I never expected this beloved manatee to be molested like that, defiled, in front of all of us and God to see. The perpetrator's name is Anthony, and it first started with him throwing gator nuggets into the Rick's Reefs restaurant, which sounds like a diner out of Bikini Bottom. And that is just the most Florida sentence ever, throwing gator nuggets in Rick's Reefs restaurant. Such a beautiful sentence. And then he got even more disorderly. His staff came up to him. He became belligerent and then went outside and sexually molested the manatee statue. Now, the astute observers amongst you will have noticed that the manatee has no visible orifices. So I'm having a hard time picturing exactly how this happened, because it's not like he could start fucking one of the holes or something like that, nor can he necessarily stick anything from the manatee inside of his holes. So when I learned about this on stream, chat kind of came to the conclusion that he must have just been humping the statue, like dry humping it like a dog on a leg, and that's what they're referring to here. And then after committing that vile act, he ran to the Postcard Inn, which is another local cameo from a place that I have been myself. Postcard Inn, back when I was in college, was kind of the spot most people went when they wanted to go to a nice beach area, because that part of the beach is basically all college kids, or at least it was back then. I don't know what it's like today. But back then, I had been multiple times to the Postcard Inn, and specifically the beach around there. So when I read this story, this is just one of those things where I pointed at the screen and said, hey, I know that. Anyway, this is long-winded. What's the good news from this? Well, he got arrested. So all the manatee statues out there can sleep easy tonight knowing that he is no longer a problem. And what's not to like about that? Let's get into some actually wholesome, genuinely positive stuff. In the midst of all of the controversy around the completionist charity scandal, I think it's important that we remember not every YouTuber is here doing shady things when it comes to charitable organizations, and I want to highlight two of the absolute best in the world. I'm going to start with the most recent example, Dr. Lupo. As of right now, he is doing something called Build Against Cancer, and it's a fundraising effort that Dr. Lupo is well known for. His charitable work is well documented and extremely effective, extremely great stuff. And on day one here, he raised $500,000, more than $500,000. It was $530,000 on day one for the Build Against Cancer stream. I'll go ahead and play you a quick clip there.
$532,008.69.
Nice.
Nice. Do me a favor. When you go to bed tonight, please remember that if you contributed in any way monetarily or socially, or we're just here, that you contributed a big way, and I appreciate the heck out of you, your families, the viewers, every single one of you. It doesn't matter if you donated $1, if you donated $10 or $10,000. Every single dollar goes to a good cause.
Indeed, it does go to a good cause. This helps benefit the St. Jude's Children's Hospital. And as of right now, the Build Against Cancer fundraising is actually over $800,000. So it's just an amazing thing. To see a YouTuber bring together a community to benefit a genuinely great cause is always so nice. Almost $900,000 raised here in the last day. Just a huge fucking W all around. And I think it's important that we remember that the negative headlines are the ones that garner the most attention, but it doesn't necessarily mean that that's the norm. I feel like it's extremely common for people to lose sight of that, and I understand why. Information is constantly blasting your ass every second of every day. The stimulation never stops. It's just this million miles per hour machine, and almost everything that you're consuming is extremely negative. So it makes it very, very easy to cast this blanket of assumptions. When you're reading these headlines like, YouTuber has this shady charity situation going on, or these streamers are getting paid to do charity streams, it's not genuine, it's inauthentic. It becomes easy for people to just assume that content creators only use charity as like a marketing vehicle or some kind of PR stunt, or they're paid for it. When that's just not the case for everything. There are content creators that do incredible charitable work, and Dr. Lupo is one of the shining examples of that, and I just wanted to highlight what he's doing right now because I'm always really happy to see it. It's just something that puts a big smile on my face and really warms your heart, because who doesn't want to see some good in the world, especially when it comes to everything in the current climate of things where it's all overwhelmingly sad and miserable. And of course, I dabble in the most unhinged of tragedies, like fucking awful romantic texts and weirdos doing horrible things and other revolting stories. But it's always nice to remember that for the most part, there is a lot of positive stuff happening as well. It just doesn't garner the same attention because people just brush it aside. They'll be like, oh, thumbs up, cool. Now let me go get mad about something over here. Let me find something to get upset about. The positive stuff doesn't pop the same way the bad stuff does, but it doesn't mean it's not there. So I just want to highlight a little of that. So I want to move on to something else. Another charitable fundraising event that I'm sure all of you know of. It's Jacksepticeye's Thankmas. Jacksepticeye, a couple weeks ago, had Thankmas, and they raised over $6 million. 6 million clams, 6 million bones here. They were able to raise in a single day, about 8 hours worth of streaming.
Like $6 million is a fuck ton of money. That is no small amount of money, and I really want to point out how insane that is to be able to do in a single day. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Yeah. So, on behalf of me, on behalf of the entire Thankmas crew who put this on every single year, we are so proud, we are so grateful, and we'll be back next year. Thank you so much, and good night.
$6.3 million raised for the World Central Kitchen from Jacksepticeye's Thankmas in one day. That is so incredible. It's always amazing to see content creators use their platform in a way like this where it benefits so many people and has this wide-reaching effect of helping others. And I just have a huge amount of respect for not only Sean, but Dr. Lupo and all other YouTubers that also do similar things. This isn't rare. There really are so many creators that try and use their platform for good and do things like this, raising money for charitable causes, or even if it's not directly financially trying to support a cause, they do other things and other methods of trying to support something or someone to help. And I just always want to give a huge, warm thank you to the people that do. But anyway, I just wanted to make this video as a reminder that there are incredible things happening. It's not all bad, it's not all negative, and I wanted this to just be a little uplifting, happy video. Like, yes, constant negativity is flooding your feeds, fucking poisoning your eyeballs, but don't let it blind you to the good that is also happening at the same time in the world. So, I just wanted to talk about this a little bit. That's it. See ya.